So we out here on the island of Hawaii, right? The actual name of the island is Hawaii, and we out here. We looking for the third. We looking for our people, the remnant of our people, the Israelites that are stuck out here, right? And what we're encountering is a lot of people that have been indoctrinated the same way that they've been indoctrinated in Oahu, but here they're more scattered. It's a much bigger place. The island of Hawaii is much bigger than the island of Oahu, so our people are tucked away in every crevice. So we've been walking around this plaza trying to find the remnant of our people. What we find is that while some of them are able to receive it, some of them have been widely indoctrinated by the culture around us. The culture around us. So we have to really dig into the scriptures to really show it, make the Bible come alive for them, to make the Bible real to them, because a lot of times they have the doctrine of Christianity rather than the truth of the Bible. So we're going to continue to work, continue to move, continue to find our people so that we could bring the truth of the gospel to them. Shalom.
I lived on Oahu for 20-something years.
Yeah.
Before I came here. So.
What brought you to this island?
I was originally here when I first got here about 30-something years ago. I left because it was I guess I was too young. It was too slow, and I was like, how can people live out here? It's just ridiculous. Yeah. And then I came back 7 years later. It had speeded up a little bit, and I slowed down a lot.
So you kind of met in the middle there, huh?
Perfect fit, yeah. Okay. So what, you guys got a church around here or what?
It's on Oahu. Right?
Yeah.
So,
specifically where? I lived on Oahu for 20 years.
Mililani.
Mililani,
yeah,
okay.
Mililani.
Yeah,
so we have a school out there, and we're really trying to spread the truth to our people. And that truth is that a Christian perspective of Christianity, but when you do use the Bible, and what we show out of the Bible is where we fit in the scriptures and who we are in the scriptures.
So what is it that you what
do we show?
Tag your faith as?
We'll show you Revelation 14 and 12. It's a great question.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter
What's your name, by the way, sir?
I'm Rick.
Rick?
Yeah.
I'm Hezeki.
Okay, Hezeki.
Go ahead, read that.
All right. The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Yep.
Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God.
Watch this.
And the faith of Christ.
So that's what we teach. We teach the commandments and faith. Because, and this is Revelations. This is the end of the Bible.
Oh yeah, you guys. Yeah, I'm well versed with the Bible. I was born and raised in the Baptist church. My grandfather's a Baptist minister. Right. My sister's a minister. I got an uncle. I got an uncle and a nephew who's ministers.
Right, all of our families have that.
And
all of our families.
Yeah.
So where's your family? From the South somewhere, maybe Bible Belt somewhere, huh?
No, I was born and raised in Philadelphia.
Okay. So all your family?
So I'm from Philly. No, the generation before me, they come from Southampton County, Virginia.
Yeah. That's what when you have that most people in your family is in the church and members of the clergy. That's very common in our history, because at one point in time that was the only good job we could get as a people.
So what are you guys doing over here?
We're doing over here to find brothers like yourself, right? We see our people that don't have that community, that don't have that knowledge, and a lot of the perspective that they have of the Bible is Christianity. So, but when you read the scriptures, we find out that it's not about being Baptist or Pentecostal or Episcopalian or Methodist. Or Pentecostal.
Okay, so what is it about?
It's about being the children of Israel and repenting and keeping the commandments and the faith of Christ.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you again, what is it that you, what sect or denomination do you guys tag yourself as?
We don't. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm explaining to you. So, you know what denominations are. They're forms of the Protestant church.
Okay.
Or the Catholic church.
Well,
we're neither one of those. Because that is what has taken the Bible and created Christianity, which you'll not find in the Bible. This Bible was written to, for, and about the children of Israel.
It couldn't be about Christianity because the lion's share of it was written before Christ.
Christianity was not before Christ. You have to be
the lion's share of the Bible was written before Christ.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And ironically, in the Christian church, for the most part, because I grew up in a Baptist church, right? They don't read from the Old Testament. They'll read Psalms, but most of what the doctrine that's being taught is coming from the New Testament and the letters of Paul, right? But the question is, who was Christ speaking to? Who was Paul speaking to? The same people that they were speaking to in that lion's share of the Bible.
That's right.
Get Matthew 5 and 24, 15, 20,
Not sent, but to the lost sheep. 15.
Well, I'm a New Testament kind of guy myself, to be honest with
But
you.
that's why we're going to Matthew. I'm going to read one scripture for you.
It's right.
Read that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 24.
I can see you a New Testament brother. We're going to read it. Come on.
But he answered and said,
This is Christ speaking. Come on.
I am not sent,
I am not sent
but
or only
unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
of who?
Of the house of Israel.
This is the words of Jesus Christ saying that he's only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which you are, sir. Which you are. Because the people that descend from the transatlantic slave trade or the indigenous peoples of the Americas, okay, they can historically be traced back to the Bible, who Moses was speaking to in the book of Genesis. I mean, in Exodus, Leviticus,
So
Deuteronomy.
how are you tying all of this in with being black?
Excellent question. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Read verse. We're gonna. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna read verse 46,
Okay.
and then we're gonna read verse 68. So we have to go to the beginning in order to understand what's going on in the end, right?
I got a few more minutes.
No problem. I just want to answer this question because I really want you to understand. Because your question is a great question.
Yeah.
So this is Deuteronomy. This is the words of Moses. You know the Bible.
I've been having conversations about this kind of stuff before you guys was born.
This is great. This is great.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46.
Watch this.
And they shall be upon thee for a
It
sign.
said, they shall be upon thee for a sign. So there's something that's going to be upon a group of people to signify who they are.
Okay.
Right? Read.
And for a wonder.
Come on.
And upon thy seed forever.
For how long?
Forever.
There's going to be signs in the earth upon a group of people forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that means even in 2024, we should be able to see these signs on a people forever. Let's see why those. Read verse 15.
Verse 15.
Watch this.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
You, Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. You, if you don't listen to God, what?
To observe to do all his commandments.
All his commandments. Watch this.
And his statutes.
Come on.
Which I command thee this day.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake.
All these curses, another word for curses is punishments or judges, are going to come upon you, children of Israel. Mm-hmm. And what we read in verse 46, it said, and those curses or punishments will be upon you for a sign. Mm-hmm. So we have to find out what the curses are. Read verse 68.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Last one, verse 68.
Verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So you're going to go into Egypt again, right? The word Egypt just means bondage.
Okay.
Because remember, they came out of Egypt. Let my people go. Why? Because they were in bondage in Egypt. Read that again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Wait a minute. Bondage again with ships. Because it wasn't talking about the physical land of Egypt. And we know that because they walked into Egypt and they walked out of Egypt. So it wasn't talking about then.
Right.
Read that one more time.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
How?
With ships.
So now the Bible's a true book. We look at the signs in the earth and we find out what people have gone into bondage with ships.
Okay. Let me get it.
Sure.
I'm going to answer my question. I think I asked it a few times. You haven't quite answered it. You've read some scriptures. I'm going to answer it by reading what you have on your shirt. It says Israel united in Christ. So I imagine that the group that you're saying that you're affiliated with is Israel, right? United in Christ.
Okay.
So you're not talking about African Americans. You're not talking about Egyptians. You're not talking about Protestants and Catholics or Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
You're talking about people, Israelites, united in Christ. I don't see any other reason why you would have that inscripted on your shirt.
Right.
Am I on the right track?
You're on the right track. The second step to that is, who are the Israelites today?
Right.
That's the question.
Okay, so who do you say the Israelites are today?
That's what we're reading to you.
Okay, well,
So I'm going to tell you.
I got you, but I don't think that there's anything that I heard so far that said to me, oh, that's who the Israelites are today.
Okay, so we know that the Bible is written in similitude and metaphor.
Okay.
Correct? We know that Moses is talking to a group of people, correct? This is Deuteronomy. Read Deuteronomy 1:1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1.
Just give me a minute. I'm just going to show you what I'm saying, right?
And verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
All Israel. Remember, Israel was the group of people.
Right.
So the book of Deuteronomy, everything in here, where he's talking to these people. So when we go to the 28th chapter, he's giving them what we call the blessings and the cursings. So at verse 15, read that one more time.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And we know throughout the Bible that the children of Israel were disobedient almost from the moment they came out of Egypt. So if the Bible is a true book, we must now go from verse 16 through 68 and look at these curses, because in verse 46 it said it's going to be a sign as to who they are. So when you look through these curses and you look through our people, it is impossible to refute that the sign.
I just got a couple of more questions, because I want to be a satisfactory engagement for you.
Okay.
It's already for me, because I've been having conversations with people who have stopped or accosted me for the last 50, 60 years.
Okay.
And I don't mind, because there's always a quest for knowledge and a deeper understanding.
All praise.
So, what is it that you're looking for today?
What we're looking for today is an understanding of who we are, and a return, because what we've read,
Who we are as black people,
sure,
who we are as Christians,
okay,
who we are as what?
okay.
As human beings.
So here, as human beings, now that's we are the world, right?
Right.
But Moses was not talking to everybody. Moses was talking to a specific people. What has happened is Christianity and religious ideas and theology has picked up a book that was written to somebody and said, this is now a universal book. It applies to all of us. No. This is a book that was written by ancestors to their children for a time to come. So when we're reading through these scriptures and I'm showing you these curses and they line up directly with our history, and it proves to us.
When you're reading from Moses, and you're reading, way before
Christ,
the thought of Christ.
Sure.
Well, I can't say the thought of Christ, but way before the existence of Christ.
100% true. 100% true. Now the thing is, but we believe in the whole Bible, which means that there was prophecies. The Bible is a book of prophecy too, correct? The Bible is a book of prophecy.
You could say,
correct?
One might say a book of analogies. One might say a book of concepts.
So my question is to you, because you said your family's from Virginia, right? Virginia is where in 1619.
We don't have to
We
go
ain't
there.
finished 68.
I know we did. We're gonna go back to it. I'm just trying to walk. Me and my brother we're talking about, because he's from Virginia, right?
Right.
So in 16,
slave trade capital of the world, no doubt.
No doubt,
Yeah,
right? No doubt.
right,
And
no
you said
doubt.
slave trade.
Yeah.
The mode of transportation for the goods or the cargo was the ships that came from Africa, right? We all know that, right? Basic information. Read 68 again now.
Sir. Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
How?
With ships.
The Bible has prophetically said that you people are going to go into Egypt again with ships. Now remember, Egypt is an analogy, like you said. An analogy for what? Read it, Exodus 20 and 2.
Yep.
Because we're going to let the Bible interpret itself. It's not going to be my interpretation.
Okay.
Read that.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.
Come on.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt, what?
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the what?
House of bondage.
So the word Egypt means house of bondage. That's what it means. That's what the actual word means. Egypt means. You can look it up, right? The etymology.
We're good.
So go back now to 28:68, and we're going to read this prophecy, because remember, he's saying it shall come to pass, which means it has to happen in the
So
future.
let me ask you another question.
I'm going to finish this, and
Okay.
I'm finished answering this, and then we'll
Okay.
go to the next question.
Okay.
Well, read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
Shall bring thee into Egypt again. Come on.
with ships.
How?
By the way, with
What?
ships.
With ships. Come on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Exactly as I'm telling you it's going to happen. You will go into slavery by way of ship. There's only one race of people on this planet that have gone into slavery or captivity by way of ship. That cannot be given to all races of people. This is who Moses was speaking to. Finish it out.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Read.
And there
Once you get off those ships, there, come on,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
when you get off those ships, you're going to be sold by your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, meaning slave men and slave women. Finish it out.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy you, meaning to redeem you, because there was no one that was able to take us out of
So
these
how
conditions
do I
as a people.
how do I benefit from these concepts that you're talking about from thousands of years ago? How do I benefit from those concepts today?
Excellent question. You read what you got.
No. Just tell me. Just tell me. I'm well established. You know, I've probably read the Bible at the most of it, 20 times over in my life, and most people, I'm sure, haven't come close to it. So I don't want to just read.
Mm-hmm.
Another question I just want to know is, so do you guys congregate? Where do you congregate at?
Mililani.
So you congregate in Mililani, and so you're out like on a mission.
Yes.
You're on a mission,
Correct.
and you're looking for. So you must have some kind of online
Absolutely.
type of thing
Yes, sir.
because people aren't going to be moving from Hilo to.
Correct.
So why don't you you guys got something? Is that in here?
It's all in
Is it
there.
here? Okay.
So
I-
your question was how does that benefit me today?
well, yeah, and I'm going to make a statement.
We have to, let me
I'm-
answer it first.
Okay.
You asked me a question. Let me.
You can go. You can try.
Okay.
You can try to answer.
So give me Revelations 2 and 27. This is how this is what it's for.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 27.
Uh-huh.
And he shall rule them.
Oh, jump up.
25?
25.
25.
Yep.
But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
Come on.
And he that overcometh
Yeah.
and keepeth my works unto the end.
So remember, if the Bible is written to, for, and about one people, it's still the same context. We went back to Revelations because it doesn't get no more New Testament. It says, he
that overcometh.
that overcometh what? Overcometh your sins, overcometh your desire to want to be like the other nations. Return back to who you are. Remember, it says in Joel, and in the last days, I'm going to pour out my spirit, and your sons and your daughters will prophesy. It's talking about the same people that it's talking about in Deuteronomy, as the same people that it's talking about in Revelations. Read.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
Come on.
To him will I give power over the nation.
Give what?
Power over the nation.
Wait, but if it's for everybody, then how would you have power over nations?
Right.
So how does it benefit you today? It benefits you today by recognizing that you are a son of Israel. You are an Israelite according to the Bible.
That's
and
right.
what is open to you is repentance and coming back to these laws so you too can overcome and have power over the nations. Not satisfied at our people being on the bottom. Coming from Virginia, all you gotta go is to the Tidewater area, and we know that our people are not doing well there.
I'm not from Virginia.
Oh, your family.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Philly's even worse. We just came from. Were you in Philly with us?
No.
I was born in Philadelphia.
Okay. We was there.
And
You know what's
wait a
interesting
minute,
about Philly?
Why is Philly worse? Now, wait a minute.
I'm not trying to.
just-
not
just-
personal,
just-
but we were in Philly.
Uh-huh.
Philly is when we came to Philly. First thing I'll tell you about Philadelphia is you see statues of Caucasian men that we are to glorify and worship and idolize all throughout that city, right? Because it was the first place of the Declaration of Independence. So as a so-called black man, right, which we're finding out as the children of Israel, your only examples of things to look up to or things to aspire to be is white men all around you. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you look at the rate of crime and the rate of hatred amongst our people in the city is second to none. It's second to none. So we can't sit here and act like Philly is heaven on earth, right? There's issues there, just like there's issues in every city in the U.S. where our people dwell, because we don't have a love for one another. So when you say, how does this affect me today? It's hopefully going to spark something in you to say, you know what? Something that them young brothers said, I'm going to look into. Maybe I am an Israelite. Maybe I am the children of Israel. That would mean if I'm the children of Israel, that would mean I would see you as the children of Israel. And now I'm going to treat him different. Why? Because I know he's the bloodline of Christ, just like I am.
How is a child of Israel different than a child of God?
Israel is prince of the power. Israel. It is prince of the power. So it is a son of God.
Okay.
That's exactly what it means.
Okay.
But all nations are not the sons of God. Give me Romans 9. That's an excellent question.
Well, your answer was that there is no difference, is what I
For I
heard.
could wish to myself for curse my brother.
But you have to find out who that is. It's not everybody. That's the point. Israel is one family of people. Go read that.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren.
No, I want you to jump down to verse 7.
Verse 7.
Yep.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children.
Not because you come out of Abraham are you all children. Watch this.
But in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
That's what the scriptures say. This is the book of Romans. So everyone is not the seed of Isaac in the world. So when you say the Son of God and Israel, those are the same people, but that's only one family of people in this Bible of 18 nations. The question is, who are those people? I'm showing my brother here, right, my older brother here, that you are these people, not everybody. And I know that there's something that's hard to conceptualize in a place like Hawaii because there's so few of us. So we've learned to be docile, we've learned to assimilate, we've learned to be quiet and humble. Oh, I've lived here over 20 years myself. I do know what they teach.
You're not describing me at all.
I'm not saying you.
I'm born and raised.
I said we.
I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. I'm a rebel to the core. I have beaten every odd that there is.
All praises, brother.
I own big property on this island.
Okay.
Okay, and I've done quite well for myself. I don't shirk to anybody.
That's fantastic, brother.
And I'm here sharing my time with you because I'm trying to provide service to you.
That's fantastic.
And what you're doing.
Yes, sir. And we appreciate that, but at the same time,
but you need to know who I am as well.
Okay.
And coming out of the ghetto of Philadelphia,
okay,
I've I'm probably
you've done well.
I'm probably one of the more successful people on this island, or maybe even in the whole state.
That's fantastic, and that's great that you've been able to do that.
Maybe that's going a little bit too far. But certainly on this island.
That's fantastic. Now the issue, as we're dialoguing, is we've been speaking to lots of people on the island,
right?
And everyone seems to have that fundamental mindset of me, myself, and I, and that's the difference. You being a successful man is fantastic for you. But you've got brothers and sisters on this island that have no clue who they are, and they're still in the struggle. But the idea of people on this island is, I don't know you. I ain't got nothing to do with you, even though we're the same people.
So why do you think that? How much time have you spent on this island?
I've been back and forth a few times, but we've been here for since yesterday. However, if you ask me why I think that, it's because it's been the words that are coming out of the people's mouths that live here. It's not my opinion. It's the words coming out of their mouth.
What my concern is, and I say this with all respect.
Yes.
What my concern is that you're on the right track.
Okay.
It's good when you're young and you're vibrant and you got these and but it's a lot there. It's a lot there, and it's more. And this book, in my opinion, creates more questions than it answers. It's more confusing than it is enlightening. Okay? Now, in order for us to really delve deep in that statement that I just made, we'd have to talk from a half a year to a year.
Right.
about this, that, and the other.
Sure.
And I might be willing to engage. So
Okay,
that's what I'm
okay.
going to do. I'm going to look you guys up.
All right, Brother Rick.
Who is this guy? Just at a glance, you ain't gotta read this picture. Who is that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Nah.
This right here.
Oh, I know that guy.
What's
yeah,
that?
It's Jesus.
It's Jesus.
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Well, that's what they got in the other churches.
They got in churches that image, right?
Yeah.
So where does this image come from?
Whoever drew it.
Whoever drew it. Right?
Yeah, whoever
Right.
drew that image.
So we have the artist. You familiar with that name? Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
Right. He's the one that drew that image. This is a real man. Real man. But it's not Jesus.
Right.
Right. So this image was painted as the image of Jesus.
Okay.
However, in the Bible, he looked like that.
All right.
Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So why is it that if I say who's that, all right, it kind of be like, right? So when I say where are Puerto Ricans at in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
right? If the Bible is a true book, I don't know if you believe it or not. Do you believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show you something, right? Because we're not here to teach magic. We teach Black and Hispanic history. We're not over here talking about floating spiritual stuff. We talking about hardcore historical things, right?
Mm.
So, this is a quick question. How did Puerto Ricans come to learn the language of Spanish?
Spaniards?
Spaniards. What do you mean?
Like from Spain?
From Spain. That's good. Because a lot of people that we meet a lot of Puerto Ricans, as they're called today, and they believe that they are Spaniards. All right, but there's a difference. All right, the Spaniards are the one that came to make the Tainos and the Arawaks and the Caribs,
Yeah.
right? And they taught them Spanish, right? What was their language before that?
I don't know.
You don't know. So it's safe to say that the Puerto Ricans of today don't know their historical language,
Yeah.
correct? Okay, right? Now, when you go into the islands of Puerto Rico,
Mhm.
right, and you go into the where the Native Americans are, you find artifacts such as pyramids, and it's fly crazy, right? Pyramids
Mhm.
all throughout the Americas, all throughout the islands, right? You can find stones like this, the Bat Creek stone, that's in New Mexico,
Yeah.
right? We had a brother go out there and actually visit and touch that stone. You know what language is on here?
No.
Hebrew.
Hebrew. Okay.
All right, let that marinate for a second, right? This was here before the conquistadors, right?
Gotcha.
And so that means that the people that wrote this was here before the Spaniards, and they wrote this down in Hebrew. Here goes another one. Here goes another one. Here goes another one. Here goes another one. And this was put on a Glenn Beck's TV show right before he was removed from national television.
All right.
So all of these things are in there, and all of these are written in the same language of ancient Phoenician / Hebrew. All right. So the people that were there were speaking, or writing at least, what language?
Yeah.
There you go. Right. You ever learned this in public school or anything like that, or
No.
grandma, abuela ever taught you that? And she said we were speaking Spanish. Now, what does this have to do with the Bible? Can you get for me Deuteronomy 28?
Yep.
You familiar with Moses at all?
Yeah.
Why is this important? Because we don't know our history.
Mm.
All right. Get Deuteronomy. Get Jeremiah 17:4. I want to show you something that is something that applies to our people. All right. Jeremiah 17:4. All right.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Right, so there's a heritage that God gave his people, the Israelites. We're in the Old Testament, so it's clear we're talking about the Israelites. He said, you shall discontinue from the heritage that I gave. What's a heritage? Hey, real quick, what's your name?
Juan.
Juan? All right, I'm Ithiel.
That's
All
my
right.
shit.
Got you. So we can establish, right? So what is a heritage consist of?
Good family legacy.
Family legacy? Like what?
Like just like tradition.
Traditions, right? So traditions, customs, language, food you eat,
Yeah.
music you listen to, apparel, right? All those type of things come from, are encased into your heritage, right? He said you will lose your heritage. Now, I want to go into the book of Deuteronomy to show you exactly why and how they lost their heritage, the Israelites, and show how that relates to you. Okay. All right. Deuteronomy 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 40.
And this is interactive, so if you got a question, just go ahead and ask.
15
Right?
first.
Yep, get 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So what's happening is Moses is speaking to his people, the Israelites. Right? You ever seen like Prince of Egypt, or anything like that, where he had to free his people out of Egypt? You know what I mean? Gave them the commandments at the end and stuff like that. So he's saying if you don't listen to these commandments, you're going to be cursed.
Okay.
Right? Is curse a good thing or a bad thing, Juan?
No, that's a bad thing.
Bad thing, right? So this is what Moses is saying to his people. All right? Now, jump to verse 45, 46. I don't know where it says sign and wonder.
Yep.
Right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee.
So they is the curses, right? This is a whole big long list of curses. We're jumping through it because your time is precious.
Yeah,
right?
that's right now. Right now, I gotta get back to work too, man.
Gotta get back to work?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy, man.
That was my lunch right there.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
I appreciate it, though.
Listen good. Right? It's important, bro. It's important. Do your research, study, and reach out to us. We on the Wahoo, but we come back often. We're gonna be here. It's not like we're gonna leave you hanging. We can help you, right? And we can find that lost history. All right,
check it out.
All right, man.
I appreciate it.
You, man. Yup.
Sir, appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. All right, you guys have a good one.
Yes, sir. So one of the important things is that we reestablish or can reconnect ourselves with that history, because we've been taught so many different things after the servitude, right? So now today we've been talking to several people even here on the island, and there's such a different thought process in the direction we should go, or if we should even have a community, or if we should even be unified. You know, all these different things. Obviously, the answer should be easily, of course, right?
So when you say this, you mean like us as African people, black folks,
right?
You know.
But you're not finding that here. You know what I mean?
No.
So when we see a brother, we want to just make sure that we reach out to them, pass them a flyer, make sure that they have information, because we've been trying to connect with the university here, because you know that they, every once in a while, I guess they have like events, Black History Month, or something like that. And so we're trying to connect with some of their faculty so that we can have informational and presentations, things like that. Also connecting with the community, because it's important for those that live here to decide if they want that community, decide if they want that knowledge and that history. Because we're coming with something that's not often taught.
Right.
It's not conventional. You know what I mean?
Intentionally not taught.
Intentionally not taught. So what we're teaching is that we, being, you're saying Africans, right? Because that's where we came from.
Right.
But before that, where did we come from? Right. Before that, who were we? Right. And you believe in the Bible at all?
I read the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up Christian.
Okay.
You know,
so I grew up Christian too, but I left Christianity. Okay. So what we're bringing to you is not Christianity, and I always like to say that because a lot of times people see the Bible and they go, "Oh, guys, another Christian group." Yeah. We're not coming with Christianity. We're coming with the identity of the Israelites found in 2024. Right. Because the Bible is a book written to, for, and about the children of Israel. Sure. Right? I know that they've taken it now. They've made it a universal book. But that was not its original intent. Right. Its original intent was the records and the prophecies of this family in the earth. Yeah. Somebody else just picked it up and said, "Oh, we're going to use this now to conquer the earth."
Our advantage.
Right. Yeah. And we're going to make slaves, and we're going to do whatever we need to do.
Paint the picture of what people look like.
Exactly. All that stuff. Yeah. Because most people would say they've heard that Jesus Christ is a black man. Have you heard that before? Yeah. You believe that?
I mean, he surely wasn't white.
Let's get it. Can I show it real quick?
Yeah.
Real quick. Read that. Revelation 1:14.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
Verse 14.
So we just read that just to show the context, the revelation of Jesus Christ.
This is what it's about.
Yeah, read that.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Like yours, woolly, right? But it said white in color.
Okay.
So if you've ever seen a man like my brother right here, if he was fully gray, it would be white and woolly.
There you go.
Right? Watch this.
There you go.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
That just means that the whites of his eyes was red, because there was a prophecy in Genesis that said his eyes would be red with wine, right? If you remember, Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine. Yep. So he drank wine, but in moderation. He wasn't a drunk. Right. But you know, sometimes when you drink, the whites of your eyes turn red. Okay. That's just going into that. Okay. Right? Watch this. Read.
And his feet.
And his feet. So we're in Hawaii, so a lot of people wear slippers. Yeah. So if I'm looking at your feet are the same color as the rest of your body. Okay. So it says that your feet, come on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Like unto what?
Fine brass.
What color is brass?
Yeah.
Do you know what color it is?
Yeah.
What color is it?
It's like brown, bronze.
Like brown, like a goldish brown, right?
Right.
Well, now watch this.
As if they burned in a furnace.
You burn that, now it becomes that bronze color.
There you go.
That's a dark-skinned black man.
There you go.
So how would you say that? Because he has woolly hair and his skin is so dark that it was burning in a furnace.
Right.
It's a black man. You can't get around that.
100%.
So now you in here and you see that Jesus Christ, and the main person in the book, who the book is about, the most powerful man that ever walked the earth, is a black man.
Yeah.
What do you think his mother, his father, his brothers and sisters look like?
Right.
All the
People around him,
just like
yep.
him.
Mm-hmm.
So now that begins to change the thought of Christianity already. They've never shown us that.
Never.
All you have to do is look at art, movies. They show you people that look more like Arabs. They show you all. They
Every
use,
variation.
They
is
use
set.
every term of Middle Eastern. They give you all kind of different stuff instead of just saying, yeah, he was a black man.
Right.
When the Bible clearly just shows you, yes, he was a black man.
Yeah.
So when you start with that foundation, you can begin to understand the prophecies in this book relate with our history, like the forced servitude, the slave trade.
Of course, narratives of who
That
we are.
means we are the people of the book. So if we are the people of the book, there comes a responsibility with that.
Right.
Because now when you say, who am I? What's my ancestral home? What's my ancestral God? What's my ancestral? Because that's the thing. We come for we are now in a search of trying to find out who our ancestors are.
Right.
We want to, because I heard you saying Ashe and things like that, right? Right. But that's a search of our ancestral. That's the African spirituality,
Yeah.
right? So we're trying to figure these things out. But what we begin to find out is that this book is actually yours.
Yeah.
This is more like what our name is: Judah, right? Manasseh, Ephraim, Levi. Right? These are the things. What do you say?
She's half Haitian. She's just talking about her own ancestry.
Wait, when she said hey, I said Levi, and she said Haitian. The Haitians are the tribe of Levi in the
word.
Bible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so these are the things that begin to come out
Yeah.
as we do the history and as we do the research. So when we're here, we're trying to connect with our people again and say, hey, we're out here. There's enough of us. Because I know it's not a lot, but there's enough of us to be able to come together.
Organized, to be unified. Yeah.
And it's lacking.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
lacking. It's lacking.
Very much so.
So that's why you have that flyer.
Sure.
Because
You got it, right?
that one, yeah. I want your daddy to hold on to that because we got contact information on the back. And we will be coming back to Hilo.
Okay.
Lord be willing, life lasts.
So y'all based in Hawaii?
We're based in Oahu, in Mililani.
Okay.
So we will be coming back and forth, Lord be willing,
Yeah.
and trying to establish something more with the people that want it,
Yeah.
and to really educate our people first and foremost to who they are. You are an Israelite according to the Bible.
Yeah.
And what is the God of your ancestors? It's the God of the Bible, which is different than every other God.
Yeah.
It's not a pantheon of God in the Bible. We were monotheistic at one point. We are the Hebrews,
Right.
right? So when we say who's the God of our fathers, it's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because that's who we are.
Yeah, so we don't go by the term black.
Okay.
You know when that came into the dictionary?
The word black?
Yeah.
Well, the word black in English, I imagine sometime in the last
It
couple
wasn't an
centuries.
ancient name, and we're ancient people.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and we go back to the Moors.
So what were y'all called before the Moors? Because there was a
We
time
had different
in
names.
history,
We were called Phoenicians.
Phoenicians, right? Phoenician was a family of people, right? So it wasn't just one specific people.
Okay.
Right.
You can say that too, but
How old are you, big bro? Like you still?
19.
Okay, all right. So you adult, legal. All right.
yeah.
All right, cool. Just Okay. So with the Moors, we the Moors, right? We was in Spain,
Yes, sir.
Suerte Pete, right? Black Peter, you ever heard of that? Okay, right. So now, what are the customs and traditions of the Moors?
Customs and traditions?
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot, but you want me to name all our customs and traditions?
Nah, I'm just saying, what's the customs of Americans? What do they do? Go to baseball games in the middle of the week. They celebrate Christmas, right?
Well, so our religion is Islamism.
Okay.
So most of our customs are gonna be the same as Islam. You know, at least I do.
How
I'm
did
a Moorish
Moor-
Muslim. I participate in the fasting.
Which fast? Ramadan?
Ramadan.
How did our
all
people?
the 5 pillars.
How did our people, the Moors, come across Islam?
How did we come across Islam?
Mm-hmm.
Through the prophets. Prophet Muhammad.
No.
Yeah. And before that, it was Jesus.
So this is history.
It's history.
This is history, right? 1652, right? Oh, sorry, not 1652. 652, right? Is when Mohammedans, the Arabs, came across in Europe and all of them places and captured the Moors and put them into Islam.
Okay.
By slavery.
All right. Let's not talk about. Let's not even go that far back. You know, you ever heard about the Moors in Denver, I believe it was.
No.
Okay, look. If you go under the laws, according to the laws in Moorish American is under the Native Americans.
Okay.
Did you know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
But it means nothing.
Oh, here, not Denver. The Delaware Moors.
Okay.
Yeah, the Delaware Moors, where this was just in like 1890 something.
Okay.
There were Moors, Americans. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, this is in America, Delaware.
Yeah, I got you.
The Delaware Moors, and that's under the Native Americans.
Were they Muslim?
Yeah, we
No, with the
practice
Delaware
Islam.
Moors, were they Muslim?
They practice Islam.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you don't even have to go as far as back as Prophet Muhammad to find Moors in America.
No, so that wasn't my point.
So what's your point?
The point was, how did our people come by Islam?
Oh, Noble Jew Ali bought it to us.
Okay. Before
In America.
Noble Jew Ali.
In America.
So, but
and
just-
before, and who did Noble Jew Ali got it from? You know who he got it from?
Listen.
He got it from all the prophets before him, Jesus and Prophet Muhammad.
Amos chapter 2 and verse 11.
Yes.
Whose book is this?
This
It's
is
King
the-
James?
Yes. Who was the Moor?
King James was a Moor.
Absolutely. Of
Oh,
the
really?
Jacobian sect.
But
Of the
So he-
Jacobian sect.
so what's a Moor? A black person.
Yeah.
So King James was black. That's
Yes.
what you're telling me.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Right. If you go up to Europe, you can find all the relics of the Moors.
Is this the book that was used against our so-called slave owners?
No, the Christian doctrine was.
Yes.
For example, every slave
I thought it
rebellion,
was King James.
every slave rebellion, after they read the Bible, then they rebelled. Then they rebelled. The Christian doctrine is the issue, right? Read that real quick.
The book of Amos, chapter 2 and verse 11.
Uh-huh.
And I raised up of your sons for prophets,
Mhm.
and of your young men for Nazarites.
Uh-huh.
Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel?
So in the Bible, right? Because you said Jesus before that, right? No prophets came out that were not Israelites.
Okay.
In the Bible, the prophets were Israelites,
Okay.
right?
I don't mind being saying the Israelites. We're all one. I know
I
that.
got you. I got you.
But we don't go by black.
Of course not.
All right.
That's how I identify
so
with
the
our
Moors
people.
are
is.
not black.
No,
That's my point.
I got you.
All right. We
Cool.
can agree on that.
Sure.
All right. Moors
Sure.
are not black.
Sure.
That's the only thing I'm debating about.
Sure. Cool. Now, the customs, right? Because Moors, before they were called Moors, before they were introduced to Islam in 652 AD, right? They were known as the Israelites,
That's fine.
right? This is why King James was of the sect of the Jacobians, right? Meaning sons of Jacob. Sons of Jacob. There was a time where we knew our history. Today is fragmented, right? So this is why a lot of the things that you're telling me are more modern, right? American version. I got.
No.
I'm not here to just flex on you, bro. I'm not here to
I'm
flex.
just letting you know.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
not modern.
Gotcha. Okay,
This
cool.
goes back to, I already told you.
Gotcha.
Prophet Muhammad.
The Prophet Muhammad was not a Moor,
Really?
right? If Moor means black, or we know who we're talking about when we talking about Moor, they're not Arabs. And we
You
know
ever
who
looked
we're
up
talking.
Moor in the dictionary? You know what that means?
What does it mean?
Arab Berber mix.
Nope. That's
Yeah,
what,
look it up right now.
this is what people are
That's the
calling them
dictionary,
today.
brother.
This is what people are calling
That's
today.
what it says. In
When
the
you go to
dictionary.
Europe and you find the Moors, they're not Arab people, right? You can find their faces. The Pucci family, you ever heard of them? Famous Moors,
I
right?
haven't heard of it.
Real quick. You ever seen like this symbology?
Looks familiar.
This is the symbol of Moors, right? Right?
Now, I'm a Moor. I've never seen that symbol.
There's a couple of things that you might be missing, and it's not for me to flex on you. It's not for me to flex on
So
you.
what about our
This is a
symbol?
Moor family.
Okay.
The
I've
Pucci
never
family,
heard of this.
Right?
I have been, yeah. But you said we can agree on, yeah, I don't want to use the word black. You know, none of us
Cool.
is
Just
calling
fine.
ourselves black. Because
Cool,
black
cool.
has no ties to any land. So yeah, the Israelites, we're all one.
Yes.
So it's nothing to
What
debate
do you mean
there.
by we're all one?
We're all one. You're a Moor or Israelite. I'm an Israelite and a Moor.
Cool.
Yeah, we
Now
can agree
the
on that.
difference is there has been a covenant made by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yes. Right. If you believe in Islam, then you understand the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right. However, it's not the God of Abraham, Jacob, and Ishmael. The Arabs claim descent from Ishmael. Are you familiar with that?
Where is Ishmael?
Where's Ishmael from? Abraham. He's Shemitic as well.
So then they're together.
No. In the Bible, they're not recognized as the same. When you go to Abraham's family tree,
it is his son.
what's counted as the seed is Isaac.
Okay. Ishmael is Abraham's son. Right?
Yes.
Isaac is Abraham's son. Right?
Get for me Genesis
Is
chapter
he Abraham's son?
19. Right? I'll show you. 19, where it
Because if
says, take Isaac
It's
thy
his son,
son.
then.
Right? This is Abraham. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 22 and verse 2. And he said, take now thy son, thine only son, Isaac, whom thou lovest.
It said, take thy son, thine only son Isaac. Isaac was born after Ishmael. But God says Isaac is his only son. His only son. So as far as biology is concerned, God said, I don't care nothing about that. Right? Isaac is where my covenant is going to stay with.
I see.
Right? So this is why when I say only the prophets have been Israelites, it's because of that. It's because of what the Bible said. Not because I want to punch Arabs in the face. Not because of that. That has nothing to do with anything. God's word said that. And this is where our confidence should rely, in that we have been made holy unto the Lord. Right?
Well,
We've been made holy unto the Lord.
I'm a student. I'm still willing to learn. But,
Absolutely.
But
now,
I don't know if I'm willing to learn from the King James Bible.
Fine. It's fine. Right?
Yeah.
So where are you willing to learn from?
I learned from the Holy Quran.
The Holy Quran,
and
right?
The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science.
So, cool. The Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple. Is that what you
And
said?
the Holy Quran of Mecca.
Holy Quran of Mecca. Mecca, it was the biggest slave port in the Arab world.
There's slaves everywhere across the world.
Biggest slave port for
the
our
Moors had
people.
slaves as well. We all
Our
had
people.
slaves.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Whoever enslaved us, that's who is our enemies according to God.
We enslaved ourselves.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. That's the miscommunication. Phoenicians.
We have, man. We're not innocent.
I got you.
We're not innocent.
We're taught to say
let's not be biased to ourselves.
We're taught to say
we own slaves. Everybody
you said
did
you're
in
a
the
student.
world. Yeah.
I understand the subject, right? Check this out, right? Here's what happened. Get from me Joel 2 and 20, Joel 3 and 2. Joel 3 and 2.
I get this is your source of learning, but
The
it's
book
not
of-
mine. So
I
a
got
lot
you.
of the things you say from here might not
It's
resonate
back
with me
to-
just
back-
because of the fact it's the King James Bible.
Okay. Gotcha. Read.
The book of
But-
Joel, chapter 3 and verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat,
Right.
and will plead with them there for my people.
For who?
For my people.
So God is looking for his people specifically, right? It's not for everybody. It's not a smorgasbord of people, right? A covenant is a contract with Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob and the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
And for my heritage, Israel.
His what?
My heritage, Israel.
Read on.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
These people have been scattered among the nations. All people have been in slavery, but he said, I will plead for my people, my heritage, who have been scattered among the nations. Have black people / Moorish people been scattered among the nations?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Read on.
And parted my land.
Has the land of Israel been parted?
Yeah.
By who? White people and Arab people.
Right.
Read on.
And they have cast lots for my people.
Cast lots, lotteries. That's an auction for my people. Right? We were sold on auction blocks by the white people and Arabs.
Right.
Read on.
And have given a boy for an harlot.
Right? We were sold for the party. We were sold as breeders. Go ahead.
And sold a girl for wine. That
Made
they
her into a whole party girl. Right? The Arabs still doing that today. They get black people over, black women, fly them over there and make them have sex with dogs.
Well,
Facts.
This is something I gotta look into, but
let me just finish.
I just want to get what's your whole point of it?
This is right here. Read.
That they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Those are Hamitic African nations. They look like us, but they are separated by the word of God from us. They are not Israelites. They look just like us. Africans, Hamites. They are not us. Read.
And all the coast of Palestine.
Palestine, Arabs. Go ahead.
will ye render me a recompense?
How you gonna pay me back? You looking to pay me back, bro? That's what he's saying. He's taunting them. Read.
And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Read.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem.
Those are the Israelites. Go ahead.
Have ye sold unto the Grecians?
Have you sold unto white people? Right? The Arabs and the Hamitic Africans. When they say, oh, we from Africa, they're never specific about it. However, when we go to Africa, we find Semitic peoples and we find Hamitic peoples. And the Hamitic peoples have always been averse to us. They are the ones that sold us to the white man, according to the Bible. That's historically backed up. You can look up the Haratim people. You can look up the Harari people. You can look up all those Semitic people that look like me and you, also look like other African people, but are not the same.
So, but before I go though, clear, just let me know. What are you trying to get me to?
You're an Israelite according to the Bible, right? And our task is to make sure that our people understand they have to keep the covenant that was made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have to get out of all these other doctrines that we learned through slavery, through slavery. If you want to learn more, you say.
And where the Moors come from, slavery?
Yes. They were the first people in the Inquisition.
I would love
1441.
to see where the Moors come from slavery.
1441. You can find books where the beastmen of Europe, the white beastmen, stormed their castles because the Moors allowed them in. The Moors allowed them in. That's also in the Bible. That's also in the history.
So if Moors are in the Bible, then how did they come from slavery?
What do you mean? The Israelites were in slavery. We just read it.
Does the name Moors, does that come from this slavery that just ended not too long ago? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they were the first ones in the Inquisition.
Okay, but you said it was in the Bible.
Their history, that's what I'm talking about.
So if their history is in the Bible,
that makes them the
how
Israelites.
was this invented in slavery?
No, that's what I'm saying.
You're not saying the Moors were invented in slavery, right?
No. The people known as Moors, it is a byword, that is a euphemism for the Israelites.
And where did the word Moors come from?
The Latin word for black.
And where did it come from?
Latin.
So Spain.
White people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know the Moors conquered Spain.
Yes, I told you that. Yeah. Right? And I told you, and I was telling you, their castles were usurped by the white people that they allowed into their military. And that's why today Spain is not owned by the Moors. Even though all the relics are still there. All the relics are still, but in 1441, the Inquisitions were started to get all of them out. And they said, these Moors that are practicing what we call Judaism, if they're not going to observe what we now call Christianity, we will kill them. If we find them observing the Sabbath day, we will kill them, right? And on the other side, the Mohammedans say, if they are not observing the customs of Muhammad, we will kill them and put them in slavery in perpetuity.
No.
This is facts. 652 AD.
You know what one of the main pillars of Islam is? Islam can't be forced on people. So anybody enforcing Islam on people are not the real Muslim.
Brother. Look up Mecca, bro. Since 652 AD. That's shortly after Islam was established, after the so-called Prophet Muhammad established it from learning from the actual Shemites. The actual Shemites.
Yeah, well, definitely time to go now. I appreciate the
reach out and learn. You know, reach out and come deal with us. Yeah. Here's the thing. We on Oahu. We here to deal with our people. Here's the thing, right? The chains that are on our minds that have been established for us. Were you born understanding this Moor science? Were your parents Moors?
I'm brought up from it.
You brought up from it? So your parents taught you this stuff?
My parents taught me from the teachings of Noble Ali.
Okay. Okay, right. So at some point, they learned we have to now break those chains, and teach them the actual history.
My chains. I don't got no chains. You know what my last name is?
What's that?
Ali Il.
Ali Il is a Arab name.
No.
It's an Arab name. You know what the Arabs call it?
What's your last name?
Israel.
Israel.
Yes. Did you think it was gonna be like Johnson or something European?
I did.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta break the chains.
But this is the name I was born with.
Gotcha.
Ali, and that was given to me by my father. I'm first generation of that name, so I don't have no chains to break. Mine's already broken. But
at some point,
I do appreciate
Johnson at some point Johnson was our names, right? So when our father was named Johnson, right? Our firstborn sons out of that say, I'm the firstborn Johnson. They're saying the same thing that you said. They're saying the same
My
thing.
name wasn't given to me by a slave master. It's so-called slave master. It's given to me by my father.
You're missing what I'm saying. At some point, a doctrine was inherited by a slave master and given to a son of that slave's own volition.
But that's not the same thing.
How is it?
One name is given to you by your slave owner. One name is given to you by your father.
Yes.
All right.
So if you still have the name of a slave owner, even though it was given to you by your father,
no,
is
you
that
misunderstand.
I don't
My father's last name was not Aliyah.
I understand that.
Yeah, all right.
I understand.
So my chains are broken. I don't have my Johnson last name.
Any of the Israelites ever observe Ramadan?
Any of the more?
Israelites.
You tell me.
No. I'm asking. I'm asking.
I do.
Right. So, Islam, right? It follows the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
The Prophet Muhammad follows the teaching of Moses because you have to understand the Torah. In the Torah, was Moses ever teaching Ramadan?
No. You know, every prophet comes and they deliver new messages. It's a new form of Islam. It was Islam before it was called Islam, but Muhammad put the last name.
So where can I find in the Bible Islam?
The Bible is Islam.
So where can I find
Jesus
Ramadan?
taught Islam.
Where can I find Ramadan?
That wasn't a new law yet. That's Muhammad brought that law.
Where can I find in the Bible the teachings leading up to Ramadan?
There was no teaching. Muhammad, I just told you Muhammad.
So Muhammad came and taught something completely separate.
No, he added on to it.
Luke 1:68.
Okay, no. I don't got time for no more verses. I gotta go. But I do appreciate y'all. You know, we all one.
Everybody gotta struggle just to make ends meet, but why is that our situation? Because this is supposed to be paradise. Alright?
Yeah, that is true.
So why are we struggling the same way if it was anywhere else? You know how Puerto Ricans got on the islands of Hawaii?
Yeah,
Boats.
Yeah. We got plantation days. That's how my family came.
So you one of the first generation from that first generation. You know, Ponce came all the way out here. So 1900. 1900, 1901.
1888 or 1884 or something
So
like that.
1898 is when the Treaty of Paris is when it was handed over to America from Spain. Then in 1900 there was 2 hurricanes, smashed up the island of Puerto Rico, and then it was a whole bunch of destruction, just like Maria.
My cousin guys up in Puerto Rico was all the kind up in there.
So now Hawaii had plantation like before. However, the people that all of a sudden had time to get together was doing labor strikes.
Yeah.
Familiar with the labor strikes? Right? So now the plantation owner's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let's get these Puerto Ricans over here. They don't have nothing better to do, and they need jobs, right? So they come over here, they bring them over here, and a lot of them was at gunpoint. A lot of them jumped ship and stayed in San Francisco. That's where the Puerto Rican population comes from.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? So there was something that was so miserable about the trip coming here that they was like, no, we not coming. And when they came here, I got a book. It's crazy. I wish I could show it to you, right? About the detriments that they faced since the day they got here, right? So it was never paradise for the Puerto Rican people.
No.
Right? And when they got here, that's it. They had to fill in all the empty labor space that everybody else left when they fought the labor strike, when they went on labor strike. Right? So from that point to today, Puerto Ricans are working so hard, they can't even get together. Right? And you're now working for the people that was also in the plantation with you, right?
Yeah. The Filipinos, the Chinese, the Hawaiians, the Portuguese.
They got all the time in the world to get together. They get together. Right? But we as a people, not so much. Right? There's a biblical explanation for why that is. If you got 2 more minutes, I can explain it. It's important, though. You got some minutes? Got some time? You here?
Yeah.
Get that from me. You familiar with Moses at all? Just real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
We not the Christian church.
No, I was just actually watching some UFC. Like,
Got you. He's gonna be there. Max Holloway, he ain't fighting this week. No, we good.
Yeah, I actually sparred with him a long time ago.
Oh yeah, you used to do that stuff too?
Got my ass whooped.
Oh yeah, he's that good? He Puerto Rican too?
No, Hawaiian.
You sure? Everybody be saying they Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
Okay.
Hawaiian.
You mixed kind?
Me mix, no Hawaiian, but everything else but Hawaiian.
Okay.
Born and raised.
He from Waianae.
Waianae, yep.
Yeah. We out there. We go to Makaha.
Makaha
We out there
Valley.
too. Yeah.
My family's from Waianae, Makaha.
Oh, we might have gave him the same flyer. Right? We be out there every week, man. My name is Ithiel, man.
Warren.
Okay. Check this out. We're gonna talk about Moses and his people. Right? You familiar with Moses and his people? All right, the Israelites.
Yeah.
All right. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So the book of Deuteronomy is the words that Moses spoke to all his people. Yeah. Right? Now get Deuteronomy 28. Listen what Moses said to his people in the book of Deuteronomy. So we're talking about Moses, right, and his people. Now read what it says.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses was telling his people, listen, if you don't keep these commandments, right, and you don't hearken to them diligently, meaning listen to them diligently, all these curses that I'm about to say is going to come upon you and overtake you, right? So, one, is curses a good thing or a bad thing? Bad, right? So let's find out some of these curses. And if the Bible is a true book, we should be able to find some of these curses on the earth today, right? Because in the scriptures, we know the children of Israel did not listen.
No.
They did not listen. So if the Bible is a true book, we should be able to find where these things are today in the world. Give me verse 49.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
So I want you to think about the island of Puerto Rico. Right, there were Tainos there before, and a nation came from far, swift as the eagle flying. Spain, their symbol is the eagle, right? And it said they came. The Lord sent a nation against them, right, from one end of the earth to the other, right? That's what the Bible is saying. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
I just talked to my Puerto Rican brother over there. He said he didn't understand why Puerto Ricans speak Spanish, and I said because of the conquistadors.
Just like how they did to Philippines.
Not quite, right?
Yes.
This is one of the things that we tend to do. As soon as we learn our history, we've been taught since we've been here to recognize other people's history first, right? It's like a reflex.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a reflex, right? But we talking about Puerto Ricans, and we're gonna understand the difference, right? So, right, read on again.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
So when they came, the conquistadors came, they did not respect the old or respect the young, right? There's an image by Bartolomeo de las Casas. It has children being ripped in half long ways by the conquistadors. It has the natives being burnt alive by the 12s and 13s, right? It has dogs eating them. It has men being thrown into pits and just dying, suffering, right? It has all of these things. That's not stuff that's been everywhere. The ferocity that was shown to the Tainos and the Arawaks was tremendous. Yeah. Tremendous. Now, I know what we're thinking. Well, a lot of people, right? But listen good. Read on.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land,
right,
until thou be destroyed.
Until thou be destroyed. Now, Puerto Rican culture, what is it?
Spanish culture.
Filipino culture, what is it?
Spanish culture.
It's not. They don't eat the same things as Spanish people. They don't even speak Spanish, right?
They took a little bit of the Spanish culture.
Now,
but besides that,
if you ask them, right,
they don't like them at all.
Who likes them?
No.
Who likes them? All right then. There you go, right? So here's the thing. There's a different level of persecution that Puerto Ricans face than everywhere else. Right?
It was worse.
Absolutely.
Worse off, yeah.
Absolutely, right? So now, jump to verse 64. I'm going to show you something important. Right?
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So his people, the Israelites, will be scattered among all people. Go ahead.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Think about how Puerto Ricans got here. All right? Read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
We've learned Catholic doctrines. We've learned Muslim doctrines. We've learned Methodist doctrines. Baptist doctrines, none of which the things that Moses told us we need to be doing. Right? So we've learned other gods here. Read on.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Which is not in our heritage. Read on.
Even wood and stone.
Wood and stone. Warren, what's the wood and stone that we've learned to worship? It's the two biggest religions on earth.
Christianity.
What's the wood in Christianity? What do you mean?
Oh, the cross.
The cross. Yeah, that's easy to really put together. What about Islam?
Oh, yeah.
You got, they walk around in a circle around it, the Kaaba stone.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the things that we learned through our slavery. Right? Read on.
And among
Read on.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
That's why you don't got time to get with your people. Among these places where we've been scattered, we have found no ease. We pretend we do, but we have found no ease. We work 60, 70 hours a week. We always question about what we're doing. Do we have the right documentation? Do we have the right license for the? Always being questioned. Always. Read on.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
You'll never have rest. Right? That's why you be like, I don't have no time. That's a curse, that you never have no time. The sole of your feet don't never get no rest. Read on.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
Trembling heart. Fearsome, right? These are the reasons why a lot of times we resort to other people. You say, what about you? And you're like, well, yeah, well, the Filipinos too. Well, this person too. Well, this person too, right? That's because you were raised there, right? So you were raised there, right? What was elementary school like for you?
That was the oddball.
You was the oddball.
Yeah.
Okay. When did it get better for you? College, right? That story is not unique to our people. Everywhere we go, we say the same. A couple hours ago, we just met a sister and said the same exact thing. Same exact thing. She said it didn't get good for her till high school, and we find this on every island. Right. And we say, well, how did it end up getting good once you got older? Adaptation, right? We just learned to assimilate, bow our heads down, and be humble, right? Be humble. Being humble means everybody else. Here you go, right? And that's how we've learned to maneuver in these places where we've been scattered. That's the trembling heart. Because if you ever stand up for yourself, right, it becomes a problem. We met a brother today, right, that he said he had to join a gang when he got here. He said when he first got here, he was called nigga and he got stabbed, right? And the intention was for him to move out here and be in paradise. And he said, wait. They were ignorant. They didn't know any better. Well, they knew enough to call you nigga specifically.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, well, they wasn't taught. They knew to call you nigga specifically.
They did it on purpose.
Absolutely. But in his mind, he's adapted and said they were ignorant. And you know what? The sister that we spoke to today about her high school, her college, she said the same thing. Well, they were ignorant. Well, why is it that everybody happens to be ignorant, but they know the same treatment to apply to our people?
Right. Because the people who are actually the ones saying that they're ignorant is the ignorant ones themselves.
I like that. Read on.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
That's that fear to stand up for yourself and to collect yourself, right? On Oahu, there's been the Puerto Rican Heritage Club, and they've been disbanded and pushed to the side, and in this corner and that corner, and they struggling to get themselves together, but they can never do it. People is scared to be like, well, I'm gonna put myself out there, right? Well, I'm gonna go the extra mile to make sure that we maintain this thing. People are like, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I can't afford to. Right? Read on.
And failing of eyes.
Failing of eyes, meaning like the things that we want to happen just never quite happen for us. Never quite happen for us. Read on.
And sorrow of mind.
That's that depression. That's that sadness, right? That it's killing our people. Not to say nobody else gets depressed, but I'm saying all these things combined, we're worried about our people finally. Read on.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. And thou shalt fear day and night.
That we had a brother from Suicide in 2021, right? They were saying all kind of racist jokes to him, right? They were shouting racial slurs at him, and he finally complained to HR, and they fired him. So he had to go get mainland help to come over here and say, Sounds real familiar, right? That sounds real familiar, right? Because what will happen is like, oh, everybody plays like that. You know, this is how we talk. We talk rough, right? But however, they knew exactly what to say and who to say it to.
Yeah.
Right? And he had to go off island to get the help and support that he deserved. All right? Now, go to verse 68. I'm going to show you something to bring this to real life. Okay?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
What were the Israelites, Moses and his people, what were they doing in Egypt? You know, Moses had to go to Pharaoh and be like, let my people go. Why would he have to say that?
Stand up for his people.
Stand up for his people. Get Exodus 1 and 13 real quick. 1 and 13 real quick. And then get the Exodus chapter 20. I know that. I got you.
The book of Exodus, chapter...
And I want you to understand everything that I'm saying. I need to go to the Bible for it because I could be a crazy person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has to come from the Bible so you can hear it and you can deal with it. All right? Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 1 and verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
So the Egyptians made the Israelites serve with rigor. That means rough. And it made their lives hard with bondage. Right? So what was their status in Egypt?
You talking about the Israelites?
Yep. Slaves. Clear. Right? So now get Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. Now I want you to think about that. That's easy to see. Imagine when God says, if you don't listen to these commandments, I'm going to send you back to Egypt. What is their mind thinking about? What are they thinking? You just said it. Slavery. All right, read.
The book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
What did God call Egypt?
Out of the house of bondage.
You see what the Bible explains Egypt to be? The house of bondage. Now go back to Deuteronomy where Moses is talking to his people about these curses. Right, read.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he said, I'm going to bring you as a curse. I'm going to bring you into Egypt again.
Bring you back into bondage.
Back into bondage. Now listen. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
How was he going to bring you into bondage?
With ships.
You ever heard that history before of people going into bondage on ships?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Santa Maria.
Yes. Christopher Columbus came and brought them slave ships, right? Brought some of our people to the Philippines. Brought some of our people to Europe. Brought some of our people to Hawaii. Right?
Yep.
And this is how we've been scattered all over when we read in Deuteronomy 20:64. Right? We've been scattered all over, and there we would find no peace because we were scattered there for punishment. Punishment? Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right? Our homeland. We don't even know where it's from. I say, hey, where you from? The first thing you're going to tell me is you're going to tell me Hawaii. Then when I dig a little deeper, I'm Puerto Rico. Yeah. Like, you know what's a good example? Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Yep. You kind of know that because we're out here. But he doesn't display that to the world.
No.
What does he say? Hawaiian. Yeah. Or Filipino. Those are the more advantageous things to say. Those are the more advantageous things to say. While both of them have went through things, those are the more advantageous things to say as opposed to Puerto Rican. All right? You see him with the Abuela Afro. Yep. You see him with that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You be sold unto that happened here in Hawaii. Right? The Puerto Ricans that came here were put in insane asylums to live. And they were all automatically branded criminals. Read on.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Bondwomen and bondmen, that's slave men and slave women. When they were brought here, they were made wards of the state. You know what ward of the state means? You know what that means?
They're owned by the state.
There you go. There you go. Right? And that's historical fact that you can look up real easy. Right? That scripture is true. That scripture is true. Not just here, but everywhere where the Puerto Rican and Taino people have been. Right? Even in the island of Puerto Rico right now. Who rules over them? Absolutely. Right? They have installed Hector Albizu Campos. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Right? He was a civil rights leader in Puerto Rico that was subject to torture by radiation. right? And eventually he died from all of this torture. You understand? These are the heroes that we don't never learn about, right? He had the time. You understand? He dedicated himself to his people. Now today, it's a, you know, you don't have time, bro. You got to work 60 hours. He didn't care nothing about that. He died trying to free his people. You understand? And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to teach, right? To build our people up. But we all have to have a foundation. If we don't know where we are because we're just saying mix kind, everything, we're never gonna get our history. We're never gonna get our foundation. You understand? And we'll just float and be everywhere. Float and be everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Does it make any sense?
No, yeah.
So who is Moses talking to here? Everybody? Let's get Deuteronomy 1:1 again. Right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So who is he speaking to?
Israel.
That's it. That's it. But that history that he's talking about, if the Bible is a true book, then we would be able to look and see these curses, because we know they didn't listen, right?
And history repeats itself.
So who did the history apply itself to? Your forefathers, my forefathers, a specific people on the earth.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.